In this video, we will learn about meter. A meter in music tells you how many beats will be in every bar. The most common meter you'll see is 4/4 time. It is also known as common time. 4/4 time means that there are 4 quarter notes in every bar. The top note tells you how many beats in a bar. The bottom number tells you how many or what gets the beat in each bar. So in this case, it's saying that there are 4 quarter notes in every bar. So if we look at this example, if you know that a quarter note gets 1 beat, you can add them up to know that you've got 4 quarter notes, or a total of 4 beats in this case. Okay, let's take a look at a couple examples of 4/4 time. You could have one whole note be an entire bar of 4/4 time. We'll just draw in these bar lines to separate our bars. A whole note would get 4 beats. We know that 4 quarter notes equal 1 whole note. Therefore, a whole note would be the equivalent of 4 quarter notes and fill out an entire bar. You could have 2 half notes in a bar of 4/4 time, each of them getting 2 beats. You could also have more complicated combinations. So we could have a rhythm like this. Alright, so then you'd have to add it up to see how many beats go in this bar. So let's take a look at that. We'd have an eighth note, which is half a beat, eighth note, which is half a beat, a quarter rest, which is 1 beat, an eighth rest, which is half a beat, an eighth note, again half, eighth note, half, because we only have 1 bar here, right? So that's an eighth note. And then we'd have a 16th, which is worth a quarter, and a 16th, which is worth a quarter. So the easiest way is to group it into beats so you can see to make sure you have 4 beats in a bar. So here's 1 beat, here's 1 beat, 1 beat, and again a quarter plus a half plus a quarter, and a quarter equals 1. So there would be 4 beats in a bar. Okay, so then if we had an example of 4/4 time, and you were asked to complete the bar with 1 note to complete a bar 4/4 time, you'd have to add up how many beats you have. So in this case we have quarter, which is 1, half, which is 2, and figure out how many beats you need to complete the bar. So again, if a bar 4/4 needs 4 beats, that means we have a total of 3, leaving us with, we need 1 more. So we'd have to add in a quarter note to fill in this bar. Okay, let's try one more example in 4/4 time. So in this case, you can see that we have 1, 1, 1 and a half. So we're missing an eighth note, right, to complete the bar. Because now we would have the extra half beat we need to complete our 4th beat. Okay, so that is 4/4 time. Let's take a look at some other meters. 3/4 time means that there are 3 quarter notes in each bar. Again, right, the top telling us how many beats, the bottom saying what gets a beat. So in this case we'd have 1, 2, 3 beats in each bar. So just like our examples with 4/4 time, we can have different examples of 3/4 time. So here is an example of 3/4 time. We have, apologies. We have 4 16th notes, each of them getting a quarter of a beat. So we know that altogether they will equal 1 beat. We have an 8th rest, an 8th note, which equals 1 beat, and then a quarter note, which equals 1 beat. Together we have 3, so it would be good. Alright, let's try an example of a missing beat in Anbar 3/4 time. So here we have our measure. So if we had that, and we were asked to complete the bar with 1 rest, this time we're going to use a rest, we'd look at this and we'd say that is 1.5 beats. That is a half a beat. So that's a total of 2 beats altogether right here. So we are missing 1 beat. So if we're asked to use a rest, we'd have to say what rest is worth 1 beat. Well, in that case, we know that that would be a quarter rest. So we put that in to complete the bar. Let's try another example. If we had this, let's add it up. So we have a quarter note worth 1 beat, 8th worth a half, 16th worth is a quarter, and a quarter. So this altogether would be worth 1 beat, right? And then we have a quarter, quarter, and a quarter again. So that would be worth 3/4. So if you add it up carefully, you'll see that we are missing 1/4 of a beat. So if you were asked to put in a rest that would finish the bar, you need to use a rest that is worth a quarter of a beat, which would be a 16th rest. Okay, we're just going to take a quick look at a couple other meters here. The same principles apply though. If you were given 2/4 time, 2/4 time means that there are 2 quarter notes per bar. Number of beats, the value that gets a beat. 2 quarter notes per bar. So we have 1 and 2 beats in a bar. You could use a half note to complete a bar. You could use sixteenth notes and 8th notes if you add them up properly. 4 16th notes together would equal 1 beat. 2 8th notes equals 1. That would be complete. If you were asked to complete the bar, the same principles apply. So here's a bar of 2/4, and you're missing a beat. So here you would say you have a dotted quarter note, which is worth 1.5, and you want a total of 2, so you are missing half a beat. If you were asked to use a note, well, what note is worth half a beat? That would be a single 8th note. Okay, we're going to take a look at 2 other meters now. 5/4 time means there are 5 quarter notes. So we're going to jump right to an example of a missing beat. So in this case, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we had a dotted half note and a quarter note, and we were asked to complete the bar with 1 rest, we'd have to add this up. So we know a dotted half note would be worth 3 beats. A quarter note is worth 1. So what rest would be worth the difference? Well, we need 5 beats, so we're missing 1 beat, and that rest would then be a quarter rest. Okay, and finally, just to give you a slightly different example, we have 2/2 time this time instead of 2/4. That means there are going to be 2 half notes per bar. Okay, so the number of beats and the note that gets a beat. So 2 half notes in a bar. So we know 2 half notes is the equivalent of 4 beats, right? So if we have 2 and 2 here, that is 4 beats in a bar. So it's very similar to 4/4 time. It just depends on where you put the emphasis when playing it. So 2/2 time could also take shape like this. 4 quarter notes equals 4 beats. That'd be good. If you were given 1 note and asked to complete the bar of 2/2 time, if you had 1 beat, that means you're missing 3. You need a note or a single note that's worth 3 beats. In that case, you would use a dotted half note. Okay, so that is how we use meter in music, and those are how the notes fill into the bars.